Hello everyone, my name is Jocelyn, you may call me Joy, and today's video we need to talk about some things. First of all, it is about 100 degrees in here. Oh, that's good. You are lucky I'm even bothered to wear clothes today. So, last video, that was a thing. And the comment section got interesting. So I do need to, I think I clarified my point pretty well with the criticisms that I got. And I'm actually happy that the criticisms were on topic at least, because usually I just get, oh, you're trans, that's such a negative bad thing, la 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 la. Which kind of relates to the topic today, but I just felt like I was talking about things that I experienced, my feelings, my perspective on that day, and that was it. I wasn't trying to speak about the Pride event that did happen or all of the successes that may have happened there. I'm just talking about the things that failed, because that's the only things that I knew about. And yes, also, I think the person criticising me thought I was being contradictory when I said I wanted Pride, but I also wanted notification of it being cancelled. Like, no, that's not what I wanted. So ideally I would have wanted the parade, the march. But I feel like it was irresponsible to promise something that they then could not deliver, and I also feel like expecting restrictions to lift at a certain time was also irresponsible and not very well forward planning. So I would rather have had no promise of a march than a broken promise of a march. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, onward with today's real topic, which relates to something that happened last night at work. So there was a group of 3 guys. They were being kind of loud. We decided to sort of keep an eye on them anyway. And what happened was I was delivering the food and there was 2 plates, a curry and a bowl of chips, right? So I was like, okay, I'll just take 2 sets of cutlery. So I took out the food, and the person who like had ordered all this stuff, it was just for one person, and he made some sort of comment about the fact that I provided 2 sets of cutlery. And I said, just quite offhandedly, like, you might have wanted to share. How do I know? And then this other guy that was also on the table turns to me and says, oh no, we're not gay, love. I almost let it drop. But no, that doesn't fly with me. Not anymore. I'm not standing for that. So I went back and I said, excuse me, what is that supposed to mean? And he said something about, oh, it's a joke, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, look, if you say anything that implies that being gay is negative, then I'm not willing to accept that. Like, that's unacceptable. That's, very inappropriate. Then things took a bit of a weird turn. So this person said, why are you getting so, like, offended and upset about it? And it's just a joke. It's just, you're probably gay yourself. Da, da, da. It's like, no, look, that's not an acceptable thing to say. And he's like, well, it's fine to be gay. Da, da, da. It's like, yeah, I know that, but you said it as if it's a negative, and I'm not accepting that. So anyway, I went to go grab my manager, and you know, she also went to go speak to him, and things got very out of hand. What happened next was they started arguing with my manager, started saying, I've got a lesbian sister and a trans daughter and blah, 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 and I'm not homophobic, da, 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 like, your employee needs to sort himself out, da, 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 like, this man wearing a dress getting offended at me, da, da, da. Shouting and swearing and effing and blinding at the same time. And, you know, obviously that wasn't received very well. So we, you know, we did the only thing we had to do. We kicked them out, because that was obviously a big disturbance to the other customers. And later when I spoke to some of those other customers, they said that they were very offended by the first comment, and that, you know, they didn't really want to call them out on it, but, you know, they wanted to, but they didn't feel comfortable doing that. So what we have here is a classic example of casual homophobia. Someone says something that is off color and inappropriate, that is not necessarily meant as like specifically directed towards a person, but it is still the implication there that being anything other than straight is weird or wrong in some way. I actually had a meeting with the like LGBT group for my company, and one of the things that was brought up was not letting small casual remarks like that fly. You know, we have to, not just for the sake of other staff and other customers, but also just for like everyone in general, like, and just show that we do not tolerate that at all. And I think what I did was, you know, fairly measured response. I didn't say anything like, you need to get out now, you can fuck off, you can take your curry and shove it. Like, I didn't get mad. I just said, look, that's inappropriate. If you say something like that again, I'll, you know, have to get the manager to get you kicked out, you know? And because of their response to that, that's what led to them getting kicked out. Because they then got violent and stuff. They even threw a steak knife at my manager. She wasn't hurt, but still, like, it was pretty bad. The way that it was dealt with as well by my managers and my co-workers and everything, like, that was spot on. Like, and there is no example of any kind of bad behavior too small that anyone should be afraid to speak up about and say, look, this has happened, please back me up. So I'm actually very fortunate in that sense to be working in a job that does that. I am having a lot of issues with my work at the moment, but that is not one of them. So anyway, thanks for joining me on this little anecdote, and I hope that wherever you are, wherever you work, that is also something that, if it doesn't already exist, that you can bring up an example and implement. Because it, like I said, it didn't just make me feel uncomfortable, it made all the other people in the area uncomfortable as well. And no act of homophobia or transphobia or queerphobia in general is too small to stamp out. Thank you for watching. Non-binary is valid. Homophobes are not.